All right, coming to you live from a closet, basically. We're up in a little tiny condo up here in Whistler. I want to just share a couple of studies that have recently come out that show you the sort of the absolute discrepancy on how things are covered. So, firstly, there was a study recently talking about the fact that protein is bad for us, right? That if we consume up to 22% of our calories from protein, anything that or above is going to lead to increased rates of cardiovascular disease. Now, this was based on some mouse studies. They had a little bit of human data on there and some cellular data. And basically, the conclusion of the study was that by eating, things like meat and eggs and things that have a lot of protein in them, it's a problem. And and this got headlines, New York Post, all kinds of headlines. Many media outlets have picked this up. You remember, anything that says meat is bad for us will get an outsized amount of coverage, and certainly it did. And the problem, one of the major problems, one of the major criticisms of that study was, and this wasn't declared in the write-up. It was just meat and milk or meat and eggs and things like that, or seafood's bad for us, to the point that the amount of protein that most people recommend at this point, 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram to maintain muscle mass or to even build muscle mass, that's what you need. And the RDA is 0.8, which is much lower than that, which is basically just enough to stave off malnutrition, right? And so if we say that you have to have 1.2 to 1.6 grams just to maintain a decent amount of muscle mass, that's also going to give you heart disease, apparently, according to this study. That seems a little bit kind of crazy. So you have to get frail and weaker is the only way you can prevent heart disease. On its face, seems ridiculous. But the more sort of interesting point was, or the craziest point was, the protein that they used in the human study was Boost protein, which is, the top two ingredients are canola oil and high fructose corn syrup. That's what they're feeding people. Now they added and changed the protein amount on the shakes here, but the baseline food was Boost, this nasty concoction of sugary, oily crap, and to say the protein in there. And it could very well be that, if you have a baseline diet of garbage, yeah, then maybe additional protein's a problem. But let's just separate out, is it the protein causing the problem, or is it the baseline garbage diet, which I think is really the issue here. And this is what the standard American diet is. It's like comparing, a steak, just an isolated steak versus a McDonald's Happy Meal, which I think have very different metabolic properties there. Now, so that study got, excuse me, guys. That study, it's a little dusty here too. That study got all kinds of coverage. And here's another study that came out looking at Mendelian randomization. Now, Mendelian randomization is lauded by people that like to talk about cholesterol as the be-all, end-all of ways to reduce confounders, all these confounding variables that sort of plague nutritional epidemiology. Well, this study was a Mendelian randomization study looking at both red and processed meat and its impact on cardiovascular disease. And it said, according to Mendelian randomization, red meat does not, repeat, red meat nor does processed meat cause cardiovascular disease, which we've heard forever and ever, or at least the studies are all over the place, But again, and guess what? How much media coverage do you think that study got? I'll give you a hint. It starts with Z and it rhymes with hero, right? So basically, zero, zilch, nothing, nada. So anyway, this is what we're dealing with. Any study that promotes the narrative, stop eating meat, eat more, grains and sugar and oil is good. Any study that promotes eating meat is considered not newsworthy. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think about that. We'll talk to you soon. You guys take care. Bye-bye.